Girl, be you. That's all that you can do. Girl, be you. That's all that you can do. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Girl, you should be yourself. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Girl, be you. That's all that you can do. Girl, be you.
Hey, girl, and welcome back to the Girl Be You podcast. I am JeeJee, your host, and here at this podcast, we are creating a space for you to be your most authentic self in a world that is full of chaos. I am so happy that you are joining me this week because I wanted to share a very, very special podcast this week because I've been thinking a lot about how we redefine success, letting go of the idea of hustle culture and reclaiming our peace. And that is why I entitled this episode, The Jig is Up. Because honestly, the old way of doing things, in my opinion, and for me, is just over. It's not it anymore of the grind, the proving, the performance, and trying to prove myself. It's not it. So, wherever you are, wherever you're listening from, sit back, relax, but stay an active listener because I want us to shift from the noise to get back to our true rhythm of doing and being what we love to do. So, Girl Be You is actually about 10 years old. And I created this while I was working at a nonprofit. And on the outside, it looked like it was the best time of my life. And in some moments, it was. But it was truly, I was heading into one of the darkest times of my life and one of the lowest moments of my life. And Girl Be You was the thing that pretty much saved me. I believe God gave it to me to save my life so that I wouldn't go off on the deep end. Honestly, it was the only thing that I had after leaving the nonprofit that after just like hustling, grinding, it was a safe space for me to land, to write, to journal, to share my thoughts, to kind of share it with an audience and see if people enjoyed it. And so I started in the era, like right at the era of the girl boss era, and everybody was loud and proud, and everybody was feeling like, this hustle, right? And so instead of me really evolving into this space of like, this is a safe space for me, I went from one hustle and turned Girl Be You into this hustle lifestyle for me that it was never really intended to be, but it became that because that was all that I knew. And where the hustle culture became a badge of honor. And we were going right into that realm of securing the bag and I'll sleep when I'm dead and rise and grind. I remember having a book that I was reading that it was all about the grind culture and it was all about hustling and and I was flipping through the pages like, yes, this is what I need to do, not realizing that Girl Be You was never intended to be that. Girl Be You was supposed to be something completely different. And it truly has evolved into something different that isn't the grind and the hustle. But I feel like it needed to be that for a little bit so that I can truly say, like, I never want it to be that, if that makes sense. And at the time, um, I thought that I was really, really going after this dream and this passion and I was and it was I remember like looking at the numbers like, yeah, look at these analytics. I built my own website. I build my own website anyway, even now, but back then I was like, look at this. I'm doing all these things. It was great and da 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 da. And I'm keeping up and I was looking at other people who were doing it. And I was like, yes, we need to keep going. We need to keep going. And what I didn't realize is that it it was me chasing my dreams, but I was really running myself into the ground. And let me be perfectly clear. I was in it. I had hard lunches. I was consistent content. I was always like figuring out how to make it work and what does it look like. And instead of being at a place of peace and kind of like recharging myself and revitalizing, I was like, nope, I gotta compare numbers. I gotta like prove that I'm worthy by doing so much, because my counterparts, the people who were friends, the people that I had known, the people that I was watching, it was like they were doing it, so I gotta do it. And it just seems, even from then until now, it hasn't hit the way it hit for other people. And sometimes it worked. Sometimes I had great numbers. And then other times I was like, it's not working. And it didn't pan out the way that I thought that it would. And so over the years, I've seen Girl Be You have many, many seasons. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, exciting starts. I've seen it where I've just given up and haven't looked at it for a while, and then came back and started projects and stopped projects and had momentum and stopped because it if I'm being perfectly honest and very vulnerable, it was because it wasn't rooted in the right thing, and I've recently made the decision that I am no longer keeping up with the algorithm. I am not going to post 82,000 times a day. I mean, is it beneficial? Yes. But I want it to be so authentic and so real and so vulnerable that I only want it to come from a place of me being honest with myself and honest with those who can relate to it. And I've let go of all these unrealistic goals, right? I've had a lot of things written down, and my unrealistic goals was rooted in a lot of pride and a lot of me wanting to be great so that I can show the people I did it. And me and God have been having a real heart to heart that that is not the way that it's going to happen, and that's not how things are going to work around here. And as a Taurus and as an oldest daughter, I am stubborn beyond belief, and it takes me a long time to get the message and to get the lesson. And so here I am 10 years later, realizing that after confirmation, I realized that it's just not going to happen like that. And I have a dear, dear friend, a college friend that I've been friends with for years. And we always have these little check-ins. We don't talk every day. We live in different states, but we also can connect with each other. And sometimes we end up being on the same path about a lot of stuff. And so a couple weeks ago, about a month, maybe not even a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, I was talking to her, and I was asking her like how she's been doing, and because she's kind of been like a bit of a North Star for me, and I see all the things that she does, and I'm like, yeah, she inspires me. She's the person that I kind of go to and be like, girl, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And after talking to her, she was like, girl, you know what? I quit. I'm done. And when she said it, I gotta tell you, I was shocked, because she literally has been doing it for years. She's been doing it longer than me. And when I tell you her hustle is like boom, 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 I'm like, girl, how do you do it? But after our conversation, we had a conversation. And as she was talking, the more that she talked about how she was giving up, not giving up. Let me just say that get her desire to stop and focus on something else did not mean that she gave up. It meant that she is reassessing and she's realigning. And the more that she talked, the more I realized here we are again, back on the same path, back in the same places. And as she talked, I felt her. And I was like, this is the confirmation that I kind of needed, because I needed to reassess and realign. And she said something, and she's like, girl, we've been grinding for years. And she's a wife. She's also a mommy. I am not a mommy. we're both in this same similar space of creating, and carrying the girl boss flag is exhausting. And we were able to say that and be honest and be vulnerable with each other. And now we're both kind of tired. Tired with the goals, the unrealistic goals, the algorithms, keeping up with it, chasing down what we should be having, and this whole idea, and it's just not real. And we've realized that the jig is up. That doesn't mean that we quit our dreams and we give up on what we believe to be the vision for our lives. It just means that we both have realized that this whole idea of content and doing it, it's up. It is up. And it was a moment of like, for me, because I had been trying to put into words like what I felt, how I felt. And that's why you have to have friends or have people in your life that can sharpen you and help you see things from a different perspective. And we're two Black women in our 40s, in a mid-shift, in a midlife, asking, do we even want to do this? Do we even love this still? Do we even like this? And honestly, what is success to us? What does that look like? And then I came across this conversation about micro retirements and taking intentional breaks and resets. And I just started reading these different articles from Essence and reminding us that rest is our right and not a reward. And I've told you guys before about the book Rest is Resistance by Tricia Hershey. If you all have not read that book, please go read it, because the work that she is doing behind rest being resistance has been years in the making, and we are finally coming around to it. That rest is not something, it's not just a movement, but it's a lifestyle. Like, resting is a lifestyle, and doing things that you love is what should be driving you, not capitalism, not the bag, not any of those things. You should be doing things that you absolutely love. So the jig is up for the idea of like, I got to do this to make number one. I got to do this to hit these marks. That jig is up. But what's not up is you resting to find liberation within yourself, to figure out what it is that you want to do. And does what you want to do bring you joy? Does it help other people? I always say that I don't believe in empowerment. I don't like empowerment. I was around when empowerment was coming out and women were having these empowerment moments, and they were mean as hell. Still mean girls. So I don't believe in that. I believe in being an inspiration to people around me. Are you inspired in the way that I rest that will make you want to rest so that you can really do what you're supposed to be doing? Are you inspired from me finding joy in the small things so that you will do that? Are you inspired by me truly living my authentic life of the mantra of girl be you, that you want to do that? That is the difference. And it's not about quitting your dreams, like I said. It's about quitting that hustle mentality. When you grind something up, you're grinding it down to its tiniest form. And I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in being grinded down to my tiniest form. I want to enjoy this life that I've been given, because life truly is a vapor. And at any time, we could be called home and we can be out of here and not be able to live this life. But what I won't do is live this life chasing something that is unrealistic. What I won't do is be comparing my life to someone else's life that is not even telling the truth. Okay? I will not live in panic of trying to prove myself. It has to go. It has to go. And we have to ask ourselves, am I doing this for attention, or am I in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I working to be seen, or am I working from a greater sense of purpose? right? And when I am able to talk on this podcast, even though when I'm recording it, I'm recording by myself, but the words that I am sharing, I believe that they truly are an inspiration to someone that will hear it later. And that is why I do it. That is why I keep showing up, even when I'm like, this is crazy. I'm talking to myself. I just believe if one person shares it, if one person hears it, and one person changes their life to be authentic, to be themselves, I'm grateful. And honestly, I'm really, really grateful. If it turns into something where I can speak and share on different platforms with different people, wonderful, wonderful. But that is not the reason that I do it. I do it because my experience has been rich. My experience has been heartbreaking. My experience has been amazing. My experience has hit low moments. My experience has hit moments where I've been excited. Um, but I truly, truly love running my mouth and I love teaching. And that is what I want to spend my life doing. And so I made another choice. I'm not chasing anymore. I'm not chasing the algorithm. I'm not chasing a following count. I'm just not doing it. I'm not posting just to keep up. I'm going to post when it's intentional. I'm going to post when I got something to say. And I'm not hustling for visibility. I'm just going to show up and prayerfully, God will take what I say to the people that it needs to go to, because I've spent 10 years trying to do it my way. And at this point, I ain't got it in me to do it my way anymore. And so I literally want to do it God's way. I want to build community. I want to inspire people. And I want to do that with love, intention, and to be at peace within myself. So, where are you, girl, on your journey? Are you running on fumes, trying to be everything for everyone? Are you measuring your success by someone else's blueprint? Are you feeling the shift, but you're scared to admit it? Because I know I was. I was terrified to admit, girl, this is not working and you need to reassess. But here is your moment of grace from me to you. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to rest. And you are allowed to tell yourself, girl, the jig is up. You are allowed to do that. You are not failing because you're tired. And you are not lazy for wanting to pause. You're human and you're evolving. And in evolving, you will know and realize you're evolving. And most importantly, you have to remember that you are worthy. May you embrace peace. May you live with intentionality and do the passion work that truly, truly brings you joy. Girl, thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode. And I hope that you lean into the idea of saying, girl, the jig is up. Make sure that you are sharing this podcast with someone else who needs to realize that the jig is up. Make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment in the comment section, because that is how we get our ratings up. That is how we're able to share it with everyone else. And if you're not following me on Instagram, go do that at G_girlbu. Subscribe to the Substack and make sure that you check the website for all of the updates. Y'all, thank you so much for joining me this week. And until next time, girl, be you. Bye, y'all.
Girl, be you. That's all that you can do. Girl, be you. That's all that you can do. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Girl, you should be yourself. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Don't be nobody else. Girl, be you. That's all that you can do. Girl, be